There are three types of people in the world who will destroy you, slowly, quietly, and without a single moment of regret. They don't look dangerous. In fact, they're often the most charming people in the room. Your coworker who always knows exactly what to say. The partner who made you feel like the center of the universe until you weren't. The friend who was always one step ahead. Psychologists call them the Dark Triad. And once you understand how they operate, you can never be manipulated by them again. Stay until the end, because the last defense tactic is the most powerful thing you'll ever learn. Let me tell you about someone. We'll call her Sarah. Sarah had a new manager at work. Brilliant, magnetic, always the loudest voice in the meeting. He complimented her constantly in the first month, called her the most talented person on the team. She felt seen, special. Then slowly things shifted. When a project succeeded, he took credit. When it failed, he made sure everyone knew it was her idea. He'd casually drop comments that made her doubt herself. That's a bold take, Sarah. Interesting. Subtle, strategic, surgical. Within 6 months, her confidence was shattered. She quit the job she loved. It took her 2 years to understand what had happened to her. What she experienced wasn't just a bad boss. It was a textbook encounter with the Dark Triad, and she had no defense because nobody ever taught her about it. Until today, that changes for you.
The Dark Triad is a concept from personality psychology. It describes three overlapping and deeply dangerous personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. They often exist together. One person can carry all three, and each one uses a different weapon. The narcissist doesn't start cold. They start warm, dangerously warm. This is called love bombing, overwhelming you with attention, flattery, and the feeling that you finally found someone who truly gets you. But it's not real. It's a trap. The narcissist needs a constant supply of admiration to feed a deep, fragile ego. You are not a person to them. You are a source. The moment you stop serving their needs, the mask drops. Suddenly, the compliments become criticism. The praise becomes control. They gaslight you, make you question your own memory, your own judgment, your own sanity. That never happened. You're too sensitive. You're imagining things. The red flags to watch for: a person who makes everything about themselves, who reacts with rage or cold silence when challenged, who can never genuinely apologize, and who always needs to be the most important person in the room. Defense number 1: radical validation, not confrontation. Don't argue with a narcissist about facts. You will lose, not because you're wrong, but because they will exhaust you. Instead, briefly validate their emotion, then redirect. I hear that you're frustrated. Let's focus on what happens next. This removes the fuel they need to escalate. Defense number 2: information diet. Never share your vulnerabilities, fears, or insecurities with a narcissist. They will use them, not in the moment, but later, in the most painful way possible. Keep your inner world private. If the narcissist is loud, the Machiavellian is silent. Named after Niccolò Machiavelli, the Renaissance philosopher who wrote that a leader must be willing to be ruthless when necessary, the Machiavellian is the ultimate social chess player. They don't want attention. They want power. They study you. They learn what you want, what you fear, who you trust. And they use that map to maneuver you exactly where they need you. They're the colleague who seems friendly, but is always extracting information. The person who does you a small favor and then calls it in at the worst possible moment. Their genius is patience. They will wait months, even years, to make their move. And when they do, you won't even realize it was a move at all. Red flags: Someone who is always asking questions but never revealing themselves. Someone who remembers every detail you've told them. Not out of care, but out of strategy. Someone whose kindness always seems to have a purpose. A defense number 1, reciprocal disclosure. Notice if someone asks you a lot but shares very little in return. Healthy relationships are mutual. If you're the only one being open, stop. A Machiavellian will never volunteer personal information. They see it as weakness. Defense number 2, the favor audit. Keep mental track of what someone has done for you and what they might expect in return. Machiavellians rarely give without calculating the return. If a favor feels too generous, too convenient, or too perfectly timed, ask yourself why. The word psychopath carries a Hollywood image, a killer, a monster in the dark. The reality is far more ordinary. It's anden and far more terrifying. Most psychopaths will never commit a violent crime, but they will leave wreckage wherever they go. Because the psychopath has one defining trait that separates them from every other human being. They genuinely do not feel guilt. Not suppressed, not hidden, absent. They are often the most charming people you'll ever meet. Relaxed, confident, funny. They can cry on command. They can fake empathy so perfectly that therapists have been fooled. And they do all of this not to connect with you, but to use you with zero emotional cost. What makes them uniquely dangerous is that they are completely comfortable with risk and harm. They will do what other manipulators hesitate to do and need because they feel nothing stopping them. Red flags. An unnerving calmness in situations where normal people would be stressed or guilty. A pattern of behavior that harms others. With zero accountability and perfect explanations. The eerie sense that something is slightly off, but you can't name it. Defense number 1, trust the pattern, not the performance. A psychopath will always have a great explanation for every bad thing they've done. Don't evaluate words. Evaluate the pattern of behavior over time. Someone can say all the right things and still be dangerous. Actions over months tell the truth that a conversation in the moment cannot. Defense number 2, gray rock method. Psychopaths are attracted to emotional reaction. It confirms their power. The gray rock technique means becoming as uninteresting as possible. Short answers, no emotional expression, no personal information. You become a gray rock, boring, not worth the effort. They move on. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You probably already know someone from the Dark Triad. You may have been their target without ever knowing it. But here is what psychology tells us, and what I want you to carry with you from this video. These people are not invincible. Their power comes entirely from your ignorance of their patterns. The moment you can name what they're doing, they lose. The narcissist's love bomb becomes a warning sign. The Machiavellian's favors become a red flag. The psychopath's charm becomes noise because you're watching behavior, not performance. Knowledge is your armor, and now you have it. If this opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to see it. Subscribe to Mindshade because we're just getting started.